What is something you will never tell anyone? The past year, I was preparing to kill myself and one day pulled over on the side of the road crying in a state of utter complete depression. I got out of the car with my gun, concealed carry for work at the time. I was in the middle of nowhere country road with a beautiful field and wood lying in front of me. I thought about how peaceful it would be to walk out into it and end things. It was the closest I ever got. Being away from my house and family, I decided not to and confronted the demons. The only thing that allowed me to keep going was a little but clear voice in my head that just kept repeating, "You cannot leave and abandon your son. He loves you. He needs you." I remembered how that feeling impacted me and my promise I made myself to be the dad I always needed for my son. It kept me alive that day and allowed me to get my shit together, get in the car, and drive home. I've been in therapy and self-care routine ever since, but no one knows how bad it got for me and how close I was. Looking back, I can't believe I let myself get to that point. Hardest past 2 years of my life, and I am doing great now, and it scares me how bad my mental health got. It's so important to take care of yourself. I was with a guy for 12 years. At one point, we fell on hard times and moved in with his parents temporarily. One day, I had been in the bathroom. I was home alone with his dad. I came out, closed the door behind me, but accidentally left the light on, went into another room for a while, came out and caught his dad with his ear pressed against the bathroom door and his hand down his pants, jerking it. He saw me, panicked, started fumbling around with his pants to zip them back up, and even admitted nervously, "Oh, I thought you were still in there." I was so shocked I just turned around and went back to my room. Never said a single word about it to anyone. My parents still think I don't know what sex is. I have known since 5th grade because my brother told me. So my parents make dirty jokes around me and I have to try not to laugh. And I have a dirty mind. I am 6 years older than my sister. She is adopted and has all sorts of emotional issues and developmental issues. I honestly love my parents so much and I wish that we never would have adopted her. She's attention seeking, likes to cause problems, and has driven a wedge in between myself and my parents. I know she struggles and it's not her fault, but I still don't like her and wish she would just disappear. About 10 years ago, I was 21 and living back at home with my very toxic family. I had a really bad winter, plus sad, and I went for a drive. I ended up at a rural park along the river, which was kind of flooding. I was parked facing the water and just bawling, trying to figure out how I was going to get out of this, and I could not see a way. I started to wonder what would happen if I just drove my Jeep into the water. Which, if you know how deeply unsettling that is, because I'm terrified of drowning into water. My best friend called me out of the blue. I almost didn't answer, but picked up at the last second. I never told her I was sitting there contemplating drowning myself, but she told me to come stay at her house for a few days. I spent pretty much all of my days off at her house from then on. I killed 12 bunnies when I was a kid by dehydration and starvation. I thought they would be better in heaven and I didn't want to take care of them anymore. I don't know how terrible that was until I got older. To this day, it makes me cry, and it is one of my only regrets. I will never make up for that, and I work as hard as I can to give my animals a great life. The worst thing is my parents let it happen. I know I was just a kid and I didn't know better, but still, horrifying.